Hello and welcome. In this video we will start the campaign of the zone called Azj'Kahet. Now, as we saw in the previous video, Azj'Kahet is the zone that comes after the Hallowfall zone or the Hallowfall campaign. So let's check back the map. We finished the campaign tied to this area, and at the end of the previous video we kinda crashed into Azj'Kahet. Quite literally. While I am viewing this window, I can tell you that there seems to be a return of the lorebook entries of, well, by now kind of older content in this expansion. So like I've said numerous times on previous videos, the lorebook entry had been removed already. Lorebook entries on these first zones of the War Within campaign. But yeah, they seem to have returned, so that's good news, so I don't have to cut and paste or edit videos as much. However, as we ended the previous chapter of the previous campaign, it instantly got replaced by the next one. So once again, I'm gonna have to refer to Warcraft.wiki, Warcraft.wiki.gg, sorry. So yeah, in the previous video, we went through the chapter called Hope in Solidarity, which was the last chapter in the Hallowfall campaign. So like I said, I will now refer to warcraft.wiki.gg to give you the lorebook entry on that last chapter. So thank you for uploading that. Hope in Solidarity. Traveling to the Arathi city of Mereldar, you informed General Steelstrike of the Order of Knight's plot to corrupt the Dawn Towers. You explored Mereldar and discovered that the Order of Knight had been recruiting Arathi who gave in to their fear of Baladar's shadow. You helped train the reservist troops and entertained the orphans in Mereldar, raising their spirits in Baladar's light. At the Veneration Grounds, you and your allies defended Mereldar against a Kobe's attack drawn by an Order of Knight ritual. After Illyria destroyed Elric Leed's shadow barriers, you faced him in combat and slew the cult leader. The Arathi were given no time to rest. The Nerubians assaulted the town of Livia's Patience. You accompanied Faryn, Illyria and Anduin to evacuate the town. You held back the invading Nerubians long enough to give the townspeople time to arm themselves and fight their way to board the Reckoning. Yeah, and something is missing from this, and I'm not sure why, but that part is not, well, let me rephrase that. So there's a little part missing from this lorebook entry that is still part of the Hope in Solidarity chapter, and for some reason is going to be included in the well, lorebook entry of this chapter. So once again, it is called Friends in the Dark, this chapter. Alright, with that out of the way, let's speak with Illyria Windrunner, who is aboard the Reckoning, right over here in Azj'Kahet. Don't mind the revealed parts of the map. I kinda had a quick tour, or a bit of traveling. Never mind that. That will be more clear in probably the next video. Anyway, let's speak with Illyria.
My arrows strike true.
Chasing the light. Anduin survived that swarm. I do not doubt that for a moment. Even so, the Nerubians are everywhere, and he is just one man. Wherever he goes, wherever he is taken, I will find him. Finding any sign that he yet lives. That is all I need to know to follow him to Azeroth's end. Search for clues of Anduin's survival.
I do not miss.
And we get to find 3 clues: gold, crumpled lion gauntlet, bleached bones, X, and scrap of weathered fabric. Next we speak to Faryn.
We owe our service to those in need.
Or we speak to Faryn first and speak to Illyria next, that doesn't really matter. Heroes never die. Damn it all! We were too hasty, and now my people are paying the price. We were fools to think the Nerubians wouldn't be prepared for an incursion. Arathi's soldiers are made of stern stuff, but even they will struggle to walk off an airship crash. I will keep everyone here safe. Please, go into the field and rescue as many people as you can. A 12 wounded Arrow Knights. So I just only realized, sorry about that, but I mentioned how some part was missing, but I didn't actually, well, tell you about it. So yeah, we at the end of the previous video we crashed into this zone with the airship called the Reckoning, but unfortunately the Nerubians were waiting with a lot of ballistae, and they fired, well, it looked like bolts made of webs, which made us, well, get stuck in our travel. Not sure how to better describe the situation, I think. Well, there should have been more, but yeah, you can see cobwebs all over. They are very stern, and they are keeping this airship in place.
Don't give in to fear.
Anduin would not have given up without a fight. He has to be down there.
Alright, so they both jumped down the airship. So let's focus on these 3 objectives. In the meantime, you can rescue 12 wounded Arrow Knights. You can see them all over the map already, the mini-map. Alright. Light for Fent. This place is a nightmare. So you can help them up, or you can, if you have the ability, heal them. Which, yeah, does the same thing, basically. Same thing. Takizik, whatever that means. So we can see an Arathi Arrow Knight over here, next to a wounded Arrow Knight. Thank you. I will find the others. Alright, over here. So that's just, what am I looking at? Southwest of the Reckoning. You can find airship rubble. Crumbled line gauntlet. The reticulated pieces are bent and broken beyond repair. And then we get ambushed.
Target something first.
Right. So that was the first one. Let's move on to the next objective. Bleached or well bleached bones. That doesn't sound ominous at all. Thankfully, none of these appear human. It seems unlikely that Anduin met his demise here. Right, and then we fly northeast of the Reckoning, so the airship, and we land over here. And whoops, this is gonna be painful. Let's just vanish. So I do remember that the last time there weren't as many enemies here. Guessing these 3 didn't respawn. Let's stun this one. Step in. Right. And then we finish this one. So we can interact with the next objective, which is called Scrap of Weathered Fabric or Weathered Cloth. Though it is but a scrap, the worn threads of this fabric seem familiar. Alright, so we now finish rescuing the wounded Arrow Knights. I think there were a few over here. Yeah. I was sure it was spider food. Thought I was done for. Thank you. Wounded, weakened from an injury. We never stood a chance. We have to regroup. What was the blip? I don't know. Alright, so more Arathi Knights to be rescued. 3 more, and that one keeps blimping. That's not the right word, is it? Oh well. Two more. Oh, over there. There we go. Now, speaking of regrouping, our whoops, sorry. Our quest marks moved, so we are not regrouping on the Reckoning. We are moving onward towards the west. Sorry, south. And
Do you
here's
see any sign of that woman who saved us?
No. But I did find tracks leading south. And there's something foul down there as well.
and here's our friends along with some arrow knights.
When shadow falls, lamplighters rise.
I am on the hunt.
You've returned. I trust you have news.
She cannot hide from me.
A shattered gauntlet and some scraps of cloth. But no corpse. That's good at least. He's alive, and he fought back. Still, it's not much to go on. Most ranges would be understandably stumped. Luckily, I am not most ranges.
I will not fail again.
I thank you on behalf of those you saved. No one deserves to die alone in the dark, least of all in a place like this. Nice upgrade.
In my heart, there is fire.
So I cleaned up my inventory a little bit. Apologies for the disruptions on the last video. Let's see. 40... 31k HP and 3 item levels. Nice. Friends in low places. When we crashed, the Nerubians were upon us in an instant. Would have lost nearly everyone we brought with us, had someone not intervened. I do not know who or what stepped in on our behalf, but if there is even a shred of hope that we have allies in this place, then we must seize upon it and refuse to let go. Search the breeding pit for your mysterious protector.
Be strong. We need to regroup.
There's no time. You find the others. I'll find Anduin.
Ashes! She's gone! Whoever saved us earlier clearly isn't a friend to the Nerubians. Seek her out. I'll get everyone to safety.
Alrighty then. So when we follow the waypoint, that leads all the way over here, you will see what they mean by jumping to the breeding pit, which is an optional objective. We have discovered the breathing pit, and we so-called jumped into it already, which we haven't. Okay, so I'm gonna jump in. Yay! Here we can see.
So, you survived the ambush. Impressive.
Someone familiar. So we saw her on the previous video in a cutscene. Landing into this stuff gave us a debuff called Unseeming Shift. See creatures in the unseeming. Creatures in the unseeming can see you. So whatever that is. You can see a Nerubian that is soaked in the stuff that we fell into or jumped into.
Speak to me.
What accent do they have? I can't remember, sorry. I have seen many things threaten the great roots, though I admit that this black blood seems particularly virulent. Who are you? Who I am is none of your concern. I've watched you since you and yours started trekking through the depths. I think you have a good heart, and I think you'll understand the threat that this black blood seems to pose to our world. For now, that will have to be enough. I am not at liberty to say more. Black blood? What is that? It is what you see before you. Blood of ancient enemies that has coalesced deep within the earth. This black blood was dislodged when the world itself suffered a grievous wound. It has been spreading ever since, and it is dangerous. That is all you need to know.
Do not fear the dark. You hail from above.
Yeah, the accent is a bit too much, isn't it?
Let nature take its course.
Ah, you survived. Excellent. You have much to do.
The world watch over you.
You mean we have much to do? Fear the old blood.
Wild guide you well.
This is not exactly the place for a long talk, so I will be brief. These roots you see are part of something much greater than you know, and it is my job to protect them. If it isn't obvious to you already, this place is teeming with writhing black blood. If you do not act, it will spread deeper and further still. You want allies? Fine. Help me cleanse this place and protect these roots, and I will at least hear you out. Work to cleanse the breathing pits. A new ring. Okay, cool. Haste crit or mastery crit? No, mastery haste.
May you lend your song to hers.
For naught, so vile.
Perhaps we'll meet again.
Truthfully, I don't care what the Nerubians are plotting. They are not the first upstart people seeking power, and they certainly won't be the last. The problem is how they're going about it. I fear that tampering with this black blood will threaten far more than the delicate ecosystems of Azj'Kahet. You must make sure that they never return to this pit again. Their equipment is still strewn throughout the pit. Destroy as much of it as you can manage. Destroy 8 pieces of Nerubian extracting equipment throughout the breathing pit. Now,
I shall watch for you. May you lend your song to hers.
yeah, I kinda read that too many times already. So this black blood was dislodged when the world itself suffered a grievous wound. So she is referring to Sargeras plunging his sword into Azeroth.
Let nature take its course. Perhaps we'll meet again. The black blood is dangerous, especially in Nerubian hands. End their efforts here. I will meet you above, if you survive again.
So what do we see here? So the previous video I said that they look like trolls to me, or at least she did. But they shapeshift, whatever they are, into a sort of bat creature. So wow, shapeshifting new allies? Okay, let me think. I am going to go left. It's nice being able to stealth, but maybe I shouldn't be stealthing too much, since we have a progress bar to fill up, so the breathing pit's cleansed. Alright, yeah, let's just move on. So this is a Nerubian extractor. We have to destroy 8 of those. Does have a lot of health. Maybe, nah. It's not as strong as I expected. Alright, let me just check something out. Yeah, okay. I was just checking if my micro is recording, or being recorded, I mean, because I reinstalled my system and I was having some trouble getting it to work again. Okay, we're getting quite a lot of progress, that's nice. Okay, and I was just watching how my energy filled up after that kill, so that's nice. Having a full, well, pool of energy again. Think of it, by now I should probably be able to take on a few at the same time. Should speed things along. If you've seen my earlier videos, this rogue was quite squishy.
I don't have
Die very fast. think both balancing and, well, getting new gear kind of helped with that. Helped with not being as squishy, I mean. Right over here we can see a lot of extractors. Okay, there's another one. So let's take it out. I think... no, okay. Seeing as we are in a cave, I thought that was one of the exits, but no. That wasn't correct. So, 3 more extractors to destroy.
I require a target.
Let's say 3. I already destroyed one. That was 2. And now we need 2 more, and we can finish this quest. In the meantime, we've completed this one. Progress bar has been filled. And I should be able to... yeah, perfect. Okay, now let's just sneak past. There we go. And head outside.
So, you made it out alive. I knew I was right about you.
You have shown your true form. Or when this is forbidden.
The black blood spreads deeper every day. We need their aid.
We need nothing from them.
Enough! We both know our charge. They are of this world, and they too seek to defend it.
On higher. She speaks with the song of the world. You know it, as do I.
The others won't hear of this.
At least it will not be the first tradition we have broken.
Go, all of you. I will join you soon.
And then they all shapeshift into bat-like creatures. So yeah, apparently they are a new kind of people, or at least a kind of people that we weren't introduced to yet. So they seem to call her Orwena.
The roots brought us both here. Wild guide you well.
Between your sweat and my spell work, we've managed to at least contain the problem to this blighted cavern. Still, what a disaster. If this is what one cave of the stuff can do, I shudder to think what the Nerubians might do with more of it. I was going to pick this one.
I shall watch for you.
Let's just quickly swap that one in. So that's 2 item levels, and is this the one I replaced? Yeah. I kind of forgot. Yeah, 25 KHP. Alright.
The world watch over you.
Orwena's cowls. The Nerubians are a bold people, but this seems extreme, even for them.
Do not fear the dark.
Alone in the dark.
I shall watch for you.
My people do not think that this black blood is a threat to our world. It has sat dormant for ages after all. Why should that change now? But the world is changing more quickly than my people realize. The Nerubians' decision to extract the blood for their own ends is proof of that. The Nerubians hold a watchtower not far from here. The ones who survived the pit could not have gotten too far. We should give chase immediately. Investigate the Eye of Azj'Kahet.
May you lend your song to her. Come with me. You need to know what you fight against.
Alright. So we follow her, Orwena, and then she disappears on this path. And we can see a checkpoint, no, waypoint, yeah, over there. But I was going to say something else. If you played through or saw my video on the initial campaign. Darn, I forgot what I used to call them. Yeah, the pre-launch campaign or chapters. You will have seen this name before. Azj'Kahet is the queen of the Nerubians. So the Eye of Azj'Kahet is where we are headed. So we follow the way to the waypoint.
Someone was here first. Not a battle. A hunt. The trail runs cold. Check the watchtower.
That's a lot of dead Nerubians. As we ascend the slope, Rowena disappears again. Now we ascend the stairs and take a left. And you can see a lot more dead Nerubians. So when she says a hunt, and we saw how Illyria rushed off to find Anduin, I don't think it's hard to well, guess who killed all these Nerubians. It's probably Illyria. Or it was probably Illyria.
You have come far, stranger.
So to investigate the overlook, we speak to Rowena again. It would seem our trail runs cold here. Where, sorry, where do we go from here?
The city of threads. The heart of Azj'Kahet. Bled dry and dying. None who enter leave in one piece. Your friend is likely dead. But I know you will not accept that. So you follow your path and I will follow mine. You have survived so far. Keep doing so. I hope we meet again.
And then she shapeshifts and flies off. And what can we see over here? It's easy to miss if you've never gone through this chapter before. There's a little creature that shows up right after Rowena flies off. Spindle, and it's a spider, so apologies for anyone who has arachnophobia. I prefer to play like this, so if you are sensitive, then you might want to look away or something, I don't know, because yeah, you've seen Nerubians, and since we are in Azj'Kahet, I think that we will run into more. So yeah, I've actually never turned on that new mode for people who have arachnophobia, so I have no idea what these would look like. But this is how they look like in normal mode. So I don't think they're really that bad, kinda cute, even though I hate spiders myself. The bizarre creature's eyes remain locked upon you, unwavering. It nudges something towards you, which is a scroll with a thick seal of violet wax. A guiding thread. The words on the parchment appear burnt, not written. A venomous tang singes your nose. Blind and alone, you stumble in the dark. I offer you a thread to cling to. Follow it, should you wish to find your friends, your allies. Follow Spindle. The strange creature blinks at you placidly, waiting only a moment before scurrying into the dark. Oops, right. And then it disappears right before we get to cross this bridge. So follow Spindle towards the city, and we are pointed towards the northeast. There he is again, or there it is again. The spider gestures frantically towards the road before crouching down behind a bush. It seems to want you to hide, so we get behind the bushes and we click Weaver's Wile. Hide from danger with the help of your spider guide. Yikes.
Watch and lurk, drudges. There will be no interruptions on Ascension Day.
Suraki Hunter-Killer. So, kind of forgot to hover over that web. I think it said exactly the same. Oh well, never mind. Anyway, panicked, the minuscule spider quickly envelops you in a mass of webs before scurrying off down the road. So we now, well, basically follow it in its tracks. Run off to the north. Whoa, that's weird. Okay. So yeah, it kind of waited for those Nerubians and that Suraki Hunter-Killer to pass by before making its way towards another bridge. You can see what's going on with Spindle. It's behaving quite weird. And then we get ambushed. So we kill these, let me think. Or my AoE moves. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. Not too strong. Okay, there we go. So use Weaver's Wile, follow Spindle across the bridge. Next we follow Spindle into the cliffs. Just take these bastards their skin. So at this point you don't really know what happened there. Did it lure us into a trap or something? But yeah, we are pointed toward the north again to follow it further along the road. Now I just need to read this out loud. The cowering spider waits for an opening in the violence before skittering away from the predators. There it is again.
Scurry on, little scarab. The Weaver bids you welcome.
So there's Nerubians over here, even though they don't seem to be hostile. Severed Observer. So scurry on. So we have to move further along the path, ascend the cliff. Over here we can see more Nerubians, which aren't even, well, yellow or neutral, but they are actually green, so friendly. Friendly Nerubians. What is this all about? And over here, be warned, people with arachnophobia, you may want to look away now. Because not only do we see Nerubians, but also a big one hanging from a thread over here. And it turns out to be the one we have to speak to. So, what is floating over here? I actually never noticed these things before. Are these supposed to be... I have no idea what you call them in English, so... Oh, they're bells. Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, we are moving towards the Weaver, Widow Arachni.
Ah, there's the little morsel now. Come in, come in. You are most welcome here.
Okay, let's face... well, let's put the camera in its normal position again. Little morsel, why thank you.
Welcome, little morsel.
Alright, I'll be eaten. Ikitash Izal, little morsel. I hope you find the accommodations here to your taste.
Our threads will cross again.
So you followed my guiding line to its terminus. For both our sakes, I am glad that your zeal outpaces your survival instinct.
May the weave favor you.
Only a slight improvement. Not even an item level and 4k HP. Oh well. So now
Come
we
back
are
again, little morsel.
faced with Nerubians that are not hostile.
A little weave rat told me you arrived.
A seeming respite.
Follow your thread, morsel.
You have endured quite the evening since your ill-fated little shipwright, haven't you? Worry not, little morsel. You will find that my friends here are most accommodating, even to someone with your predilections, as strange as they may be. Please take a moment to explore. Avail yourself of my many amenities. With luck, you will find some sorely needed rest. Oh, but do take care not to move about too quickly. Sudden movements, I'm sure you understand? Explore the lair of the Weaver.
Do keep in touch.
Now,
I'll remember you.
I'm going to stick with that one quest for now. So let's head towards this objective, where we locate the repair vendor. Who is right over here. So this is the repair vendor. Steel spinner vest. Okay, so next we ascend the stairs, go back to the platform where we came from, and over here, which is inside this building, we can find the innkeeper, which is a massive Nerubian, a very tall one. So I guess tall one is more accurate, because the Weaver was a massive Nerubian, but this one is different somehow. Okay, and next we head toward the Flight Master. Speaking of flying, let's speed things along a little bit. Head back to the Weaver, then go past her again. Or fly past her. And over here we can see Wings of the Widow. So you speak to this NPC to unlock this flight point.
has delivered a customer.
So yeah, for some reason she sounds quite flirty, the Weaver. I don't have those female charms, so I'm not gonna try.
Such a fascinating visitor. I'll be watching.
Well, are you not impressed with my hospitality?
Come back again, little morsel.
The Tangled Web. Make no mistake, I have no intention of sending you off to skitter about in the dark like a freshly hatched beetle. It wouldn't do to have my little morsel snatched up by a starving cave borer. You must educate yourself, my dear. Your allies have found themselves ensconced in the torrid tapestry. Only by familiarizing yourself with its erstwhile architects can you hope to reclaim them. Luckily for you, I have made some of my personal resources available to you. Peruse the Weaver's archives.
I must be quite tired. Take a moment. Familiarize yourself with your surroundings. And no doubt you have questions for me as well.
So yeah, we already familiarized ourselves with our surroundings in the previous quest. Tell me about yourself.
Oh, I am the Widow Arachni. For many years I officially served as the Royal Weaver to Queen Neferis. Unofficially, I pursued a variety of additional interests. But now my beloved queen is dead, and her daughter has been led astray by a so-called harbinger. I will not allow this creature to usurp our great kingdom for her own ends, but I cannot stop her alone.
Harbinger, huh? So we kind of got that already when they being the Harbinger and the Nerubians attacked Dalaran. I mean that they were working together. However, we learn that their former queen was called Neferis, and I do seem to recall that I had heard of that name before, but I wasn't as active back in the Lich King. I think that's when they might have mentioned Neferis. Anyway, so the daughter has taken over now, which would be Anshurek.
I've been expecting you.
Learn about the Sureki forces. Tell me about the enemy forces.
Do keep in touch. This harbinger has the entirety of Azj'Kahet's military at her disposal. Before her arrival, General Anobazal led the kingdom's forces. Ansurek deposed him in favor of one of the Harbinger's pet ascended. And now the army's ranks teem with those corrupted wretches.
Alright, so over here we can see this projector. Naturally, the first image we saw was of the Weaver herself. So the one we saw a few seconds ago was General Anub'Azal. And he kind of looks like, well, certain units, certain Nerubians, certain bosses even, from the Wrath of the Lich King expansion.
Step into my parlor.
So she spoke of Ascended. Tell me about the Ascended, those corrupted wretches.
Our threads weave. The Ascended are the Harbinger's gift to Ansurek. A fierce contingent of violent hunter-killers, made by the Harbinger in the darkest depths of the city's transformatory. They are impossibly strong, and I have no army of my own. If I am to reach Ansurek and dispose of the Harbinger, then I will need to find a way to subvert her military might from within.
Alright, so I kind of forgot to check the projector, so I do think they showed the Ascended. Let me just refer to this achievement first. So the meta achievement for all the chapters is called Azj'Kahet. So since I already completed that quest line, and I do think that this will be the case as well, without... Actually, let me rephrase that. So since I completed this quest line already, you can see that I have this achievement. However, there seems to be a bug where you do no longer get this mentioning of well, completing a chapter. So I'm gonna have to show you over here when we complete it. Alright, so that were the Ascended. Now let's learn about the Queen's allies.
I've heard much about you.
Tell me about the Queen's inner circle.
May the weave favor, even if we do not engage the Harbinger directly. A more subtle approach will prove equally as difficult. What I need is an ally in Ansurek's inner circle. Someone who can come and go without suspicion. The denizens of the burrows speak of a vizier, some manner of patriot who works from within the Queen's walls. He would do nicely, if only I knew his identity.
I do think that image was nice for people who actually have arachnophobia. Sorry. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, we now went through all her options that are tied to, yeah, the objective, the quest.
At last, our threads entwine.
Oh yeah, I remember what I was going to say.
Follow your thread, morsel.
So that Suraki Hunter Killer, the one we saw with the two Nerubians, was actually one of those Ascended. So they kind of look, well, a lot different than Nerubians as you know them. So that seems to come from I think it was over here. No. Yeah, here. So that seems to be the case because they went through the transformatory, whatever that is. Do you think that you get some idea? Transformatory, they change.
A little weave rat told me you arrived.
And apparently they have been corrupted by the Harbinger. So I'm guessing that, yeah, void magic, void corruption is what caused them to change like that. Actually, that wasn't the thing I was going to say, but the figure we saw over here was actually Queen Ansurek. You might remember her from the attack on Dalaran, where she ordered the Nerubians to kidnap Dalaran's citizens. Do you know where my allies are?
I'll be watching. Worry not, little morsel. I'm well aware that you did not come down here alone. I've already sent my weave rats to track down your compatriots. Consider it a gesture of good faith, and with luck, the start of a long and mutually beneficial relationship. Step into my parlor.
How did you know where to find me?
Oh, I specialize in little pushes, dear. Every plan is a tapestry, and I am adept at nudging and tugging just one thread at a time. You, though, are less of a tugged thread, and more of a lit match. The Harbinger's shadowy venom has stained Anzarek's tapestry. That is why I sought you out. I require a stray ember, and you need a friend in the dark.
So all this talk about threads and tapestries and all that, it was to me kind of vague. But yeah, noticing this over here, it does give you a sense of what it all means, I guess. Because as you can see, these bells are ringing every time, well, every now and then. So that happens because they are tied to threads, and I'm spoiling here, aren't I? Well, they convey some sort of message, some sort of signal. I do think that more gets mentioned about it later on.
Welcome, little morsel.
Now you see how the stage has been set. You have arrived in the middle of the play, I fear. But you needn't worry. Your time... Actually, let me start over. Now you see how the stage has been set. You have arrived in the middle of the play, I fear. But you needn't worry. You've time yet to play a most vital role.
Our threads will cross again.
And then we have completed the chapter called Friends in the Dark. So as you saw, there was no little window again. I do hate that because I like those windows. Anyway, that means that we now have completed this chapter, and I am going to summarize what we did. So, at the start of the chapter, we started by searching clues on Anduin, as Illyria was sure that he was still alive. Farron, who blamed herself for putting her people in danger by flying into Azj'Kahet, asked us to rescue as many Arrow Knights as possible while we were out in the field. After completing these objectives, we regrouped deeper inside the zone. Next, Farron wanted us to search for the troll-like character who aided us when we were intercepted by the Nerubians. Farron hoped that this would lead to the forging of a new alliance. Illyria rushed off in search of Anduin, while Farron was going to bring the Arathi survivors to safety. We followed the waypoint and jumped into a pool filled with a red or pink liquid, with a troll-like character investigating it. We learned that she is called Orwena, and that the liquid is called Black Blood. It is the blood of ancient enemies that has seeped deep into Azeroth and coalesced there. Orwena suggests that the Black Blood has been spreading ever since Sargeras plunged his sword into Azeroth. She taught us that people... her people protect the roots that run deep into the earth, and she insists that the Black Blood needs to be addressed immediately, as it might pose a threat to the entire world. Whatever those roots mean, I don't know, they were quite literal, I guess, because we saw roots from the trees in that cave. Anyway, we would have to cleanse the coalesced Black Blood and rid the cave of extraction tools. Orwena then shapeshifts into some sort of bat and flies to the surface. As we regroup, more of her people arrived. One of them is very upset with Orwena for showing us her true form. Apparently, her people follow many strict traditions, and breaking them is forbidden, although they have apparently broken them before. Orwena advocates for us, as we could help with the Black Blood, but the character who was upset does not see this as a valid reason to break their traditions. Orwena ends the discussion and seems to send them away. This kinda, well, suggests, I guess, that she's the leader of the group or something. Anyway, she then points out that her people do not understand the threat that the Black Blood poses, as it has been dormant for ages. After the briefing, we would chase after the Nerubians to a nearby watchtower. When we arrived, we saw that someone had cut a path of destruction through the Nerubians already. We followed the trail all the way to the tower, but it ran cold. Like I said, I assume that this was Illyria her doing. It does seem to fit with her hatred for Nerubians, as well as her drive to save her friend. We then split ways with Orwena, upon which she shapeshifts again and flies off. However, a small Nerubian, or small spider, then appeared, trying to catch our attention. It gave us a scroll with a text on it being burned into it, with venom, I guess. The writer suggests we follow the small spider if you want to find Anduin and the surviving Aaronites. After following its path, getting ambushed, and learning that the Nerubians are planning some special event called Ascension Day, we were led to Widow Arachni. She is a massive Nerubian, nicknamed the Weaver, who seems to own a secret Nerubian hideout called the Weaver's Lair. After leading us on a tour through her lair, she briefed us on everything we need to know about Azj'Kahet and its workings. So the Weaver used to work for Queen Neferes, but she had a little side project. Basically, she's a master spy who collects information and manipulates from the shadows. You know, thugging threads and all that. Now the Queen has passed away and her daughter, Azj'Kahet, has taken over. Apparently she's right in the Harbinger's pocket. The Harbinger has put her own minions to lead Azj'Kahet's army, deposing of the former general. These minions, called the Ascended, would be unbelievably strong, and their origins are shrouded in mystery. They would lie in the so-called Transformatory. Now, since they are called Ascended, they come from the Transformatory, and something called the Ascension Day is going to take place. We can assume that this would mean that Nerubians would ascend, whatever that means, changing them into what we saw over, well, back when we were webbed by Spindle. So the Weaver needs help to stop Azj'Kahet and the Harbinger. Meanwhile, she has her spies looking out for our allies. Furthermore, she mentions that we would have to sabotage our Azj'Kahet's army from within. To this end, the Weaver has intel that there's somebody called the Vizier who could be a potential ally. Alright, so we can assume that this is where we will pick up in the next video or the next chapter. That one will be called Unraveling the Traps. Until then, I would like to thank you for watching, and I hope you will check out this next video as well. See ya!